Welcome to Binge Buddies, Pork and Porkers. Me, your host, always Brian Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Elvis Presley, Dice. Yeah.
I'm standing at the moment, so I can actually do it.
That's what was going on. I'm like, why is the light so much harsher on your face now?
Like, because my back was hurting, so I just did the. Did you not notice the desk rising up?
He's in my interrogation room, Brian.
Oh, it was nice of him to come visit the Quad Cities.
Yeah, it was really weird. I didn't expect him to just show up at Whitey's.
Tell me where the cookies are.
I thought I felt a disturbance in the force this morning.
You know, the disappointing part is that we missed out on the opportunity last week to have Mike, what the hell's wrong with me? Matt be a guy on a toilet, with GD being a guy on a toilet.
That would have been pretty great. We also have Joel, Michael Jackson DeWitt.
Hee.
That was really.
I think that makes it better. The fact that you just didn't bother even trying to go high. Just hee.
And in my ever loving desire to give Ryan nicknames that he probably doesn't like very much, we also have Ryan Ronald Reagan Lutens.
I was Richard Nixon, and now I'm Ronald Reagan.
Just giving you all the bad presidents.
So
do you know what? You've just reminded
I'm just gonna say, tear down this wall, Mr. Gorbachev.
I saw something the other day that made me piss my pants with laughter. It's about the Reagan film and the fact that it's failing.
I was gonna say, does this make me Dennis Quaid? Am I Dennis Quaid now?
Yeah.
So the Reagan film is like failing at the box office, and someone posted as a response to it saying, "Well, it's just trickle down box office." It's like perfect. No, amazing joke.
I was going to call this a trickle down podcast, but you sort of took the wind out of my sails.
I love how Dennis Quaid was like, Facebook is ruining my ads, and that's the reason why it's failing. I'm like, I see that ad everywhere I scroll. Like, there's Dennis Quaid as Ronald Reagan.
I don't see it at all, and I'm very okay with this.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's a film about Reagan, which is saying that he was great, is why that film's failing.
Yeah, like we all kind of know he sucked.
Well, none of our political parties like Reagan anymore anyway, so it's like...
Yeah, he's not right-wing enough for the right-wingers.
Right.
Because they're just like Nazis now.
Yes.
At least they're not Democrats.
God damn. All right.
Or how about this? At least they're not the version of Democrats they show in this show.
There we go. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, man, the Good Place people.
They are the best and worst.
Just useless.
Today's nicknames came from Historum.com, the 100 most influential people of all time, and these were all part of the bottom 10, so 90 through 100. That's where this came from this week. I'm kind of very excited to leave the greatest people of all time nicknames behind us. I'm very excited for our next podcast because I'm tired of looking these up every week. I've repeated so many of these forking things.
Well, I love as well. You keep using a different reference now because Ranker's list just forked you over so badly. You were just like, right, you know what? I'm not using Rank anymore. I'm just using a different list every week.
And then I came with an idea to make Ranker work.
EDU.
This website has an EDU. That's safe, right?
Oh no! Wait, this says that Bill Clinton is worse than Hitler.
I don't want to go to that school.
What school is this?
One of a kind. So here we are. The answer. This is the Cheaty episode to end all Cheaty episodes, and because of that, some people really forking hate this episode. If you look it up, awesome.
People who don't have souls don't like this episode.
I understand from the point of view, because it does drive me nuts when other shows do this, of I'm racing towards the end and I'm going to take a left turn for one episode. But I was in the middle of something. This drives me nuts in almost every episode of any, or almost every series that has ever done it, except for this show. This is the one time it actually works for me. When they did this in X-Men 97, it killed the show for me. I never went back, and everyone thinks I'm a terrible X-Men fan because I'm like, they had one amazing episode, then they burned an episode, and I didn't care anymore.
I think the thing with this one though is everything that we see in it, all those flashbacks, they all have a point towards getting Chidi to where he ends up at the end of the episode and into next episode of, like, you know, being this kind of more confident, best version of himself. Like we're
Yeah.
going through the sort of like the memories and it's all very key moments in Chidi's life. It's not just like random memories for fun. Like, you know, they all mean something. Like, you know, his first lecture to his parents on why they shouldn't get a divorce. You know, that
Yeah.
it's a foundational part of Chidi's personality that he's still talking about to his girlfriend at the time, however many years later. And it's every single one of those is it makes sense when you see the whole picture. When, like, you know, when we see Chidi next episode, where he is, because if we didn't get all this and all of a sudden Chidi's just super confident, then you'd be like, well, wait, why? What? How is he? And it's not like it's not a clip show as well. We're seeing stuff that we've not seen before, and we're getting more context as well. Like when we get into the good place, we're
Yay
seeing
for Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Or-
the Esmeralda stuff is so funny. But I was sort of thinking, like, you know, before he gets reset as well, we have an extra scene of that where we have that. Just the dialogue in that conversation between him and Michael is amazing about
Amazing.
about soulmates and just existence, and it's so good, so good.
Ryan has a hand up.
I really love this episode because we all think we know Chidi up to this point, but now we see what has driven Chidi.
Mhm.
And it's the whole thing about hearing his parents and then going through and talking why they shouldn't get a divorce. And it could be someone's quote, so I'm not going to say it. But then Michael explains that your lecture meant nothing to them. And then it is this episode is is deeply philosophical, but it's still funny. And it really just drives the point home. You know, we all think that Eleanor is a main character, but it really drives the point that maybe Chidi is a main character. So much so that when you have we think we know him up to this point, but there's still layers to him, makes it just that much better.
Maybe it's the context of how it was said, but thinking about the Michael and Chidi conversation, like it wasn't as cut and dry as saying that Michael told him it didn't matter. It was almost just like a conversation saying like
A
that
realization.
that speech on its face did not convince them. It is the fact that you went through such trouble as this young child to come up with a case for them to stay together that it made them re-examine their situation and come to the conclusion that like,
it's the
we can
therapy
fix.
and the counseling that they got together, the couples therapy stuff. That's what sort of saved it. But that was the triggering point. That's kind of like what I took that as well. Like Michael
it
saying
was
that, like the triggering point of them doing that was your cute little lecture.
Yeah, and it was his inflection point of being like, everything has an answer. I just need to know what the problem is, and I can fix it. This episode, I didn't like the way it started on its face. You know, it goes back to
the snap and the
slow motion.
Well, I was fine with that. I meant the starting with the focus on Chidi, because you guys are right. Like this is the pivot point where it seems like he's going to be the primary focus. He's going to be the real influencer of things. Now after watching it, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
But it was that initial like, okay, we're slowing down here. I like Chidi. I'm not sure if I need that additional context, but then it does serve the purpose.
Well, especially because
it does go into it. Sorry,
I was gonna say because it does slowly turn into a clip show. Like it
Yes.
doesn't start as one, but it gets there, and but it earns getting there. So like by the time you get there, it's like, oh, this is what we're doing here.
Yeah,
and the best part
clip
is
shows
it's kind
things
of
we've not seen as well.
well,
Like
right,
the key
it's-
point of that. It's not just let's save some budget and just show you stuff that you've already seen. It's the clip show of clips that we haven't seen.
So
well,
it's
they make some we
reminiscent
have
of
seen in there, but yeah.
The little
Community
kid
had an episode where it was a clip show, and it was all clips of stuff that didn't happen on the show.
Yeah,
like it was just like random. It is reminiscent of that, and that's the best kind of way to approach that stuff.
Yeah.
The little kid in the clip show. I mean, we get things that we've never seen before. That little kid and how he's trying to determine where to sit down in class is so adult Chidi. Nailed every mannerism, every voice inflection, perfect.
I mean, even the very beginning of the look at the cute little baby Chidi. Do you like that name? Well, it looks like he's a stomach ache. But it all just sort of works. And yet we get the Esmeralda stuff, which I almost feel like we are robbed of Esmeralda because she's so good. So you don't
Oh my
want too much
God.
of that either, but it's really, really fantastic. I think this does another thing I was bringing up last week. If you listen to last week's episode, I like how this show, even if they're not going to fully commit on the idea of yes or no to soulmates, it still does the show don't tell approach. We might have seen Eleanor and Chidi and Simone attempt a relationship. They might have had a very successful relationship. Things might have worked out great, but they do not have that same connection that Eleanor and Chidi have. And the way they kind of do this by showing Chidi's entire life and how it always leads eventually to Eleanor really kind of drives home that whole thing. Like, there might not be soulmates, but there are people for you that just work. And you really get that throughout this. And it's like, yes, there's the whole of existence is on the line, but also this is still important. And how you're able to juggle both of that is, to me, just phenomenal.
And there's the note as well. Like when he asks Janet for the note back and he says, "Oh, this might be the best bit of writing I've ever done." And it's literally just a note on a piece of paper. When we've had that context of his giant thesis that his professor's like, "I have a life. I don't have time to read this. Go away.
Kids, man.
Go away.
Shut
Go
up.
away."
Shut up.
That's it. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
And then he's like, I'll go back and write a small paper to justify why I should continue to write this larger paper. Shut up.
It's so good. But then, yeah, so we finally get to that note. That note consistently, I have watched this up. I watched it air live. I have watched it on repeat. I have watched whenever I watched the whole series many, many times. When they reveal that forking piece of paper, tear up every single time. Every single forking time. I'm a big old softy at heart. It gets me.
See, I'm just a cold-hearted bastard. He just didn't even get me at all.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's a culmination thing. Like there's been so much build up to this point in the series. Up to this point, you thought that Chidi was lost forever, pretty much, in terms of who he had been. Like that was alluding to what I was talking about at the end of the last episode we recorded. Like that's sort of something that I assumed that they would put Chidi and Eleanor back together at some point. I didn't expect just the whole like we're going to have him remember everything.
Yeah.
And I also like the way that they have Michael trying to like talk Eleanor through this because she's literally spit like, you gotta wake him up. And he's like, he's had 800 lives folded on each other in like this sort of like Inception-like manner. And you're telling me to just go snap of the finger and just plug it all into him like a immediate download of 1 terabyte of information. It's like, that's a lot.
He didn't have to spit out all of his teeth for this.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what happened to Eleanor. Like, it burnt all of her hair off, and she spat all of her teeth out, and then she needed a banana for the.
But I think that if I want to get very like nerdy about it, I think that's because she was alive when it happened, and he's dead when it happened. So maybe it's not as bad.
Yeah, because we had the same thing with Jason as well. When he got his memories back, it didn't affect him, but he was already dead. I like the sort of the framing thing we have of the slow motion snap.
Yeah,
it's like because the liquid sort of coming out that you
Jason's
sort of
drink.
The time
His
moving
ditch water
so
drink.
Yeah, it's called
Oh,
it's
God.
Midori Coffee Mate and Ditch Water.
Ditch water. What I really like about that, Matt, too, is, again, this show, while insanely funny, it is insanely deep too. And we always talk about that life flashing before your eyes. This is it.
Yeah.
And it's so beautifully done. So I really like that connection there.
So he's awake. They did it. It clicks. The drink hits the ground. And they have to figure it out. They ask how he's doing. He just stands up, kind of stretches a little bit. Hey, guys.
The best part about this is like, we've seen Chidi, and this is a different Chidi, but it's the same Chidi.
Yeah.
So like, the acting, like we talk about the writing of the show. We've talked about, how the show was filmed. We've talked about the direction. But I don't feel, well, we do. I think we do. These actors know what they're doing. And they know how to demonstrate what exactly they want to come across to make this show hit on a different level.
I mean, we usually give all the props to Darcy Carden because she's
Yes.
amazing as Janet and all of the Janets, so she does get a lot of our praise. And then, of course, Ted Danson gets a ton of it. But this episode, if you haven't been sold yet on William, is it William Jackson Harper? I want to
Yes.
say,
William Jackson Harper.
if you haven't been sold on him yet as an actor, like he should be a household name. Like he's so incredible in this episode. He just hasn't really had a huge hit outside of this show, which is a bummer. I mean, he was in Ant-Man Quantumania, and other stuff, but like I hope he finds another thing because he is absolutely phenomenal. He's still working. Like he's working all the time, and he's a playwright from what I understand. So like it's not like he's hurting for stuff. I want to see him in more stuff because he's phenomenal. But they
So
all
you said
you're
that he
right.
was a playwright. I was just about to say he's jacked enough to be Blade, but then I was like, he's never going to take Blade as a playwright.
No. But even like Jason, like Manny Jacinto, like he's absolutely phenomenal. Like I have to watch The Acolyte now because Disney's apparently threatening to delete the whole thing off their servers, like they did to Willow, and I never got to watch Willow. Not that I really wanted to, but I'm like,
Are they really going to do that? Because I haven't watched it. Now I need to.
that's what the
I
rumor
mean,
is.
if they start doing that shit, just pirate it. Like at that point, it's like,
I
well,
mean, that's
you're
gonna
literally
be the only
making it-
option.
That will
Yeah.
be literally the only if that's what would take for me to have to pirate again. It was like there is no other option. But hopefully
There's a
that's-
series called Final Space where the creator of that was basically saying, "Go and pirate this stuff because
mean-
it's getting deleted. Like they're not redoing
Yeah,
it."
because the actual artists probably care about things like preservation and
Yeah.
people knowing that they've made something.
And Manny Jacinto is apparently extremely proud of his work in The Acolyte. And you know, I think he's only in like 2 episodes, but like he was supposed to be the main villain moving forward. Like it was going to be great, and he doesn't get to do it. So I should go watch it because I like.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Fuck Star Wars fans and like that sort of that group of them that are just like, "Ooh, there's a woman. Ew, it's disgusting. It's rubbish." Blah."
They're the worst.
Fork yourself.
Yep.
They're awful, but there's been a lot wrong with recent Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, recent Star Wars has not been great, but the fans they're taking something bad and not letting them fix it. Like
After the last movie, they can.
That was-
as long as
that
they're
was
not
caused by the
harassing
fans.
actual
We
people,
gotta
they
stop,
can do
'cause
what
I
they
get
want. I don't care anymore.
we got to go back to Good Place. I get real mad talking about. I'm gonna say it. Fucking Rise of Skywalker. I was gonna say
No,
fucking.
no,
but
hey,
no.
so he's
Fuck
But
Rise of
again,
Skywalker.
that was
I'm
down to
right.
those. That was down to those asshole fans as well, because they
You're right,
listened to
yeah.
them.
Oh, but let's
Oh,
Good Place.
oh, but-
Good Place. Good Place. Good Place.
Good place,
Good
good
Place.
place, good place.
Let's talk about good things.
Yay!
Ugh.
Somehow,
life.
like, get out of this tangent. Where
We've
were
done
we again?
Cheaty's life. We need to get into. You've changed, man. Yeah, we're talking to Star Wars. You've changed, man.
That's a good segue.
Well, there is that thing though, like at the very end of the episode where Cheetah does his little stretch thing. And he's like, "Hey, guy, was I really annoying for the last 300 years?" I just
No,
love
no,
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 no.
no. And then Jason cutting through. Yes.
Yes. I will say this is the first point in the show where I feel like they've maybe reached the limit of how much can just be focused on like talking through things. Because a lot of this episode is just them spitballing ideas about how they can re-envision what the afterlife looks like, right?
Yeah.
And they get into the nitty-gritty details of what ostensibly kind of sounds like a mixture of different ideas of religion. Like you get a mix of reincarnation there.
Yep.
You get the idea of living a life on Earth and there being an afterlife. And we get a concept of everybody who isn't a big winner should be in the medium place.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
a Cincinnati for everyone else. And the idea that you sort of relive these different simulations, cooperate and collaborating with the good and bad place to do basically the Michael experience for anybody who's not in the good place. Like, yeah, they just sort of blended a lot of different ideas there. And
The new
it's
system seems
interesting.
really good.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I like
that's
it.
what it's actually like, I'm looking forward to dying.
Oh yeah, like that's. I've had many like a fantasy. I'm like, if there's someone actually out there controlling all this shit, if they could just rework the afterlife to be what they planned in this, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll get more into it later because obviously they have to come up with a plan at the end of this episode, and we don't see that until the next episode will be the next recording session. I love what they come up with. It actually seems like a pretty good system. I wish I could vote on it. But I
I
can't.
love everything that happens around that too. This
Yeah.
in spite of all the focus on problem solving in this, it hilarious.
We have
Like
this
they
amazing side story of Janet and the judge going through all of the other Janets looking for
Mhm.
the
So good.
clicker thing to reset the earth. And this is the whole distraction thing. But every time they go into a Janet, it's fantastic. And like she's
Uh-huh.
super
The
annoyed.
neutral Janet,
The
it's
neutral Janet
beige.
is beige and
Beige.
terrible.
I love that it's beige. Like even like bad Janet and like good Janet, like both of those are white, but neutral Janet beige.
Beige,
I
yeah.
just it's so perfect because oh my god, beige is
I-
the most boring color ever.
My favorite is the literal dumpster fire in Bad Janet.
Oh, that's so good.
The,
But, like,
the
the
music
computer-
is like turn the music down and it gets like oh
Sorry,
yeah,
turn the music on.
turn it up.
Yeah.
Once she leaves, before you marbilize me, can I just make one final statement to
Oh
summarize
my
how I
God.
really feel? I think I know where this is going.
That
And
might
then-
be my quote at the end of this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
And
All
later
right.
on as well, when she
But
does it
when
again,
it's
it's like,
just
yeah,
the
I'm not
marble,
falling
she goes,
for that
man, she's
again.
dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also love like in the Bad Janet when they go to the computer to look for the clicker thingy, which is how she's doing it.
restarting.
It's restarting. Like, update now. It's like, oh, I hate
Yep.
Bad Janet.
As someone who works with IT all the time, that is very true. It always wants to update at the most inopportune time ever, and it's
Well,
almost like you will update now.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just when you turn off the computer and turn it on again, right? That solves it.
You don't even have to turn it off and
Sure.
on again. It literally will just come up sometimes going, "Hey, you want to do this update? No,
We're-
postpone. Hey,
No, I'm
let's
saying-
do that update now."
I'm saying bypass it, like turn it off and on, and then just
No, because
see.
that just triggers the update.
I feel like I've done that and it worked before. I don't know how much damage it did to the computer.
A lot.
Oh,
A
you
lot.
just pulled the plug out. I
Uh-huh.
see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's bad. Anyhow.
Yeah. Your hard drives are wrecked.
Can we call this
Well,
episode the
I don't
tangent
know that
episode?
yet. Like,
Really,
it seems
right?
to be working fine right now.
Star Wars, right? Right?
Computer.
Okay, yeah, that cut through.
Star Wars hard drives.
Yeah,
Wait,
anyhow,
what?
Timothy Oliphant is in this episode. I'd love to get to
Yes!
that. Let's get to that.
It's so good. Her reaction when he comes into existence, the judge's reaction, just like that.
Just
Just
so excited.
the-
You
the
made
jaw.
me an elephant? I think
This-
you should listen
this-
to the lady, Judge. Well, yes, I will.
So question for the uninitiated. Does he play a cowboy in things?
Yes.
So that is
Yeah.
him
One
in
show.
Justified. So he's
Okay.
he's actually 2 shows where he plays a cowboy. He's
Well,
in
one a legit
Deadwood.
cowboy, one just a
Yeah, so he's
Good
in
old boy.
Deadwood, which is in the Wild West, but then there's Justified, which is kind of like a modern day Western, and he's a U.S. Marshal.
But he wears, like, the
and
cowboy-
he has
like the
the
10-gallon
he has
hat
the
and-
hat
yeah,
and
yeah.
the boots and all that. In fact, they
Come on over, Joel.
yeah. You can go watch it with Ryan and get your
He-
thirst on for Timothy Oliphant.
yeah, it's
No.
really good show, and
It's really good.
they did his costume pretty damn perfectly, like to the point where he's even got the ring. So he has this
Mhm.
little like a horseshoe ring. The character has a horseshoe ring. The only thing that's wrong is the hat, the little belt thing around the hat.
Mhm.
It's got like some bejeweling thing or something on the one in The Good Place, whereas in the actual show it's just a standard just leather belt thing.
Janet, give him a better hat.
I was
Send
gonna
her
say
a
just a little extra flair to entice the judge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like how that, because it's not even on the same network, so I don't know if there was any kind of like clearance on the, because it's not they don't say
They can't
he's really
stop him from
Gibbons,
dressing
but-
up as a cowboy.
yeah.
But it's not just that he's dressed up as a cowboy; it's almost identical costume as in Justified, like down
really
to the
is.
boots as well, like the boots, the ring, all of that stuff, the hat. It's
That's pretty good.
I mean,
so good, and he's in character as well, like the way that he's talking.
that's him on the
it's-
back cover.
He's not wearing the hat. But
It's a very
yes,
good show.
It's a good show,
love
but
that show.
him popping into this is fantastic. Not just
Yeah.
because it could have just been a sight gag, but they actually let him play with the cast a little bit, which is
Yeah.
just like as they're trying to explain it, we've gotten very used to them just being able to talk, and he just interrupts that. Now hold on. Like,
My
Yes.
favorite thing of that is when like they're just talking, then all of a sudden you see him just walk into frame,
Yeah.
like, and just stand in front of the whiteboard and go, "Why did you walk us through this. It's like,
But what's
I'm
what's
going
great though
to.
is he's playing the cop, like he's playing.
He is,
yeah.
Mhm.
When,
And
when he
so
hits
good.
Eleanor with that, I don't have a dog in this fight, little lady.
Yeah.
It's 100% justified.
Just looking for clarity. Like it is just so good. And like the first show that's done, like you can't even count how many Tahani name drops there have been throughout this entire show. It has been almost one an episode, if not significantly more than one an episode. They've
She
done
just throws a random one about how Sting was a godfather or something.
yeah,
in
that
one
one.
of the-
She threw a
one of
bar
the
mitzvah for
episodes.
Timothy Chalamet. Like I
Timothy
almost said Oliphant.
Chalamet, yeah.
I almost said Oliphant.
Second Timothy Chalamet reference.
Yeah, like so there's
as well.
ton. Very, very few to zero cameos. So when they finally pulled the cameo lever, they used it really well here. And
It's
it was
so good.
We
like,
had the Hemsworth brother.
sure.
Good
old
Larry
Larry.
Hemsworth. Good old Larry Hemsworth showed up.
Everyone's favorite
Oh.
fictional brother.
Fictional? No, he's real.
Uh-huh. And yeah, so they explain their idea. It's looking great. They have to sell Sean on it. We haven't really talked a lot about Sean, but Sean is loving this right now. Sean
Mhm.
is loving the fact that he's essentially won just because they're losing, and he is just living his best life. And they invite him in. They pitch their new idea of the afterlife, which is essentially put everyone through what we went through. If they fail, put them through it again. Do exactly what happened to us. Reboot them. Keep it going and see when they eventually start to get better. Seems pretty cool. They don't exactly have a how yet, but they have a like how to actually do this how, but they have an idea. They have a goal. They pitch
What I like
to
about
Sean.
this idea is like, because we get it a little bit later in the episode, like the demons are going to be, they will have a lot of stuff to do and they won't get bored because every single person's test is going to be different. So then it's never going to be just, you're never just going to be like, you know, flattening people's penises like for 8 hours a day or something like that. Or, you know, it's going to be like so varied. And like, you know, you'll have the Vickies out there who are going to absolutely love it because they'll be able to get into a new character every week.
I also liked how there's the presumption of improvement through all of it, right? Because they made a point like, okay, you're in the native, you're in the bad place, good luck with your penis flattening. If you're in the medium place, you keep going until you improve. There's never the until you improve or you're bad enough to go to the bad place.
Yeah, like everyone gets the same shot, which, you know, there's a part of me that's like, okay, so like if like I had to watch the first episode of that new show Monsters that's coming out on Netflix about the
Right? Yep, the Mendoza brothers.
The Mendoza brothers who killed their parents. They might have had a very good reason, but they still shot their parents with shotguns like 15 times. Like they killed the fork out of them.
I mean, you have to reload them.
They had to reload. They had to leave the house, get more bullets, go back in, and more slugs, go back in, and shoot them some more. Like it was really
Christ.
And another Ryan Murphy show.
Yeah, extremely forked up. But should they get that opportunity to, you know, I don't know. And like that's where like I'm not sure how I feel. Like mass murderers, should they get the same fair shot? I don't know, but I like the idea that no, everyone gets the same shot. And if you don't get out of it, then so be it. You don't get out of it.
Yeah,
but
forever in this kind of limbo of just like going through that same cycle over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the test might even be like the test might change as well. Like that's not even been established. It might be like, well, that didn't work. Let's try a different test.
Yeah. So like there is that grayness to it, but I also think it's like it's one of those like if I could put myself in their shoes, I still think it's worth a shot. Even with that grayness, I'm like, you know, you don't achieve nothing if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. What's the Phil Jackson?
Wayne Gretzky.
Is that it?
It comes down to
okay.
it comes down to the argument of like, you know, let's for example, those brothers you mentioned, they killed 2 people, right?
Yeah.
The parent. Does that mean that they should be tortured for eternity? Like literally forever? Like because they killed 2 people?
Yeah,
like, maybe like a good few million years, sure.
Yeah,
forever. Like that's kind of the thing. Like, and
yeah,
there is this kind of philosophical argument of like these absolutes. You either are tortured for eternity or you live in paradise for eternity. There's no kind of like gray area where you could, you know, okay, like, you know, you do 1 million years because you robbed a bank. You do 1 million years in hell, and then like, you know, it's just like, oh, you did that evil thing that's on our list of bad things, right? You're in hell forever.
Yeah, and like that's what the new system.
It's an unfair system.
Yeah, and the new system would not be, at least on paper. We'll see how they figure it out in the next couple episodes. Um,
And it also balances that out as well, because it's like you're saying, like, you know, a bank robber, for example, they end up in the bad place. They're getting punished the same way, like they're getting the same punishment as Hitler, Pol
Yeah.
Pot,
Yeah.
Genghis Khan, all these people who
Shakespeare.
butchered people.
I
Yeah,
feel like you're
Shakespeare.
more arguing for a very bad place.
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, a little bit. But either way, like I like this system, and I'm excited to see what they do with it in the show, says me forever ago. I know what they do in the show now.
I think it'd be called The Worst Place as well, Joe.
Yeah. It's only for
You
Brent.
know, my worst place is you correcting me.
No, I'm just thinking because, like, going back to the whole, there's the good place, and then Brent thought there was the best place.
The best
So
place.
there's
Yeah.
bad place, and
Yeah.
then the worst place.
Yeah, you're
The
technically
logic
correct.
from the show.
Yeah, no,
Which is
I
the best
doubt.
kind of
It's
correct.
and see, like, these people have lived, these characters have lived for 800 years. So the fact that they have more stake in the game, and I alluded to this earlier, but I can't wrap my head around this. Like, to be in charge of how people are treated, if there is such a thing as a soul, like that's mind blowing. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
And-
the show does it in such a humorous way that it's just, yeah, it's so good.
However, Sean disagrees.
Yes.
Sean doesn't like this. They pitch this
Oh.
all to Sean, this beautiful thing, and Sean looks at it.
Okay. Yeah.
Pass. Snap and disappears. It's just
Well,
so.
but doesn't he play with them? Doesn't he go, I like it?
Oh,
and
well,
Mike's like,
that was.
Oh
really?
yeah, he looks
first
like he's
place that
about
he
to
liked.
agree.
Yeah.
The first one he liked when they all get the medium places. Like, I like it. Really? No. And this one he plays it just for a second. It's like, pass, and then just disappears.
Snaps, yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then they meet in the water fountain when he's peeing in the water fountain.
But at that
I
point,
like that scene though between Michael and Sean.
Yes.
it's so
Yeah.
good. Like, because
Yeah.
there's a point that's somewhat honest. Because if he doesn't come around, then Michael's being honest. That's it. I'll see you in a billion years and I'll try this again, because that's what I will have to do, because they are eternal beings. They're not going to be affected by resetting the earth. They're just going to be really bored for a while till people start
Yeah.
becoming a thing again.
Yep.
And Sean's disappointed. Like, for the first time ever, we get that moment of Sean going, but this was fun. You can't just be done with it. Like, how do you not have
Yeah.
another plan?
He's trying to do his evil speech, and like he's like, well, if you're not gonna be upset by this, like, listen, I can't do it, and it's that sort of thing, because
Yeah.
Michael knows what he's doing at that point.
Yeah.
So he knows how he's playing. He's playing the game like that Sean wants to play, but he's playing it in his own way.
Now, here's something they don't say, but I'll get a read in the room. Do you think Michael is also having fun with Sean?
No.
I
Just because
kind
of the
of
whole
do
rubber
maybe. I kind of maybe do a little bit. I think Michael enjoys having, not necessarily having an antagonist, but I think Michael enjoys knowing that Sean is his antagonist. Like, he's got one very specific thing that he needs to be aware of, and it's this person. So if this person's around, he needs to, like, oh, I need to focus on, pay attention to what this person's doing. I don't think he enjoys the game as much as Sean does. I think Sean gets a real perverse pleasure out of, well, everything, but in this thing specifically, I think he gets a very perverse pleasure out of the chase.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. It's that sort of, it's a game to Sean. And he wants to win the game, but he also wants to win the game but keep playing the game at the same time.
Yeah.
He wants his cake, and he wants to have his cake and eat it too, essentially.
Joel, what do you
Or
think?
eat his cake and have it too. I can't remember.
I don't know that he enjoys his interplay with Sean. I think he sees some being that's redeemable, maybe. Because throughout the series, even when they're having arguments and fights, and he's pathetically trying to use human lingo to insult him, that there's something in the way he talks to them that was always just like, come on, man, why are you doing this? Kind of thing. And so I think he sees the potential in him, which maybe gives him hope, which maybe lends to him being, sort of glad that they're stuck together. I think Michael would truly be disappointed if he had to wait a millennia to interact with them again.
So
For
from
longer
that,
than a millennia.
just with what Joel
billion
said,
years.
now it's got me thinking, does Michael see a little bit of himself in Sean?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's kind of where I was going. I'm like,
Now I can see that.
yeah, because the only reason,
Thanks, Joel.
like Michael talks about it in that episode where they go to the bad place with Jason, the only reason he did it is because he thought he was doing the right thing.
Mhm.
These
Yeah.
are bad people who need to be tortured. When he realized he was wrong, he didn't want to do that. He's not this eternal evil being. He's just very capable of being an eternal evil being. And I think that's the same thing with Sean. It's like when if Sean had to choose between filling buttholes with spiders and firing up the penis flattener or playing this game of cat and mouse with Michael, he'd pick the game of cat and mouse with Michael every single time. And he even talks about it at one point. I'm not sure if it's anybody's quote, but it's like, fighting with you has been the most fun I've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
he's legitimately enjoying it. So at this idea
Because it's
of
something different. It's something new. Like he says, it's
Right.
like you drill a hole in. I can't remember what he exactly says, but it's like you think, oh, I get to pay this. You do this like 10,000 times. It's like, oh, got to do this again.
Yeah.
And then, but then there's the variety, and then Michael sort of like reverses that back on Sean of like, well, I saw you speaking at Demon Con, and like you wouldn't have let me try my plan if you were still enjoying doing that as well.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like using Sean's actions and decisions to prove his point
Mhm.
that actually, the game is going to end, like regardless of whether or not Earth gets rebooted or not. It's over. This sort of like thing is over, and I think it's like when he starts saying that to Sean, Sean has that realization, that the full realization of the fact that, oh yeah, this game is going to be over no matter what. He then sort of realizes, well, let's not just go back to the old stuff, which is boring. Let's maybe try this new thing, which might be interesting. And
But
then
also-
maybe that he can still, I think in Sean's mind, he might be able to still have that cat and mouse game with Michael in some way, shape, or form in
Well,
this new version.
he'd still be doing something different in the new version. Whereas they don't really
Yeah.
spell it out, but the threat of I'll see you in a billion years is we have to do it again. Like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna do it all over again. Like, so like
Mhm.
you're worried about being bored. We're gonna be bored again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is to
And
end one way or
hell's gonna be the
another. How
exact
do you
same
want
way.
it to end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like
this is the
hell's
end of
gonna be exactly the same way. Like, so the bad place is gonna be the exact same way. It's just gonna be the same stuff that you're already bored of. You're just gonna have to keep doing that, and then you're gonna have to sit around twiddling your thumbs for a billion years whilst humanity evolves to the point where they'll be going to the good place or the bad place again as well.
Yeah.
So let's try this thing instead.
Yeah. And Sean caves. They're about to reset the earth. Reset the earth.
Reset the earth.
And as they're about to do it, we're on board. He said yes. We're gonna do it. All right. So what's next? Everyone looks at Chidi. Don't look at me. I'm just an ideas guy.
Oh, we do have the bit where Jason starts faffing around with the little clicker thing and nearly drops it.
Of course we do. I'd
I
be
just love that
disappointed.
everyone goes, no, and he's like, "Ooh."
Fine. It just throws it on that thing like it doesn't matter. Like, jeez. That's it. Did we miss anything in these two episodes? There's a lot to cover between the answer and You've Changed Man. Like these were some pretty heavy packed episodes.
Unless you
there's
want to go
little
through all
bits
the
and
different
pieces,
Janets. I mean,
the one thing that I did like was Disco Janet's when she gets marbleized, it's a tiny little disco ball.
Yeah, that's pretty
mhm.
cool.
That was a good detail. Yeah.
I also like that there's only one Disco Janet. Like we have all these bad Janets, all these neutral Janets. There's only one Disco Janet. What is she used for? I'd really like to know, but also the mystery is kind of worth it.
There is that line like earlier on in the series where they tried a Disco Janet and like it got real uncomfortable or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe she's just the prototype that's still just, they can't destroy her. So she's just kind of like going rollerblading around the good place and the bad place all at the same time every now and again. Just passing by people getting tortured, going, what it is.
Quotes?
Yeah.
Ready for quotes? All right.
Quotes.
Matt can go first.
Esmeralda,
I'd say he's got a whole page, so I got to make him pick a few.
Yeah. Esmeralda, you don't bring knives to a friendly game night. I mean, who does that? The prepared. Chidi, Esmeralda, it's your turn. Blood. Seas of blood. Enemies. 1,000 years of darkness. Nightmares. Blood. Ennui. Lamenting the unanswerable passage of time. Fire and blood. You fool. It was birthday parties.
Birthday parties. These trivialities demean me. I must tend to my ravens.
Thanks for taking my quote, Ryan.
Sorry.
And you didn't even get it right.
I must away and tend to my ravens. I'm
No
sorry.
tend. It's just these trivialities demean me. I must away to my ravens. It's perfect. You
Sorry.
didn't get it right, and you took it from me.
I like how in your anger you said wavens as well.
You know,
Yes.
it happens. I also farted when it happened, so you know, I was gonna say stew in that, but it's just me stewing in it.
Are you a bad Janet now?
I guess. Well, I have to use a different one now because it was going to be my turn next, but I guess Ryan gets to go second this time. That's your quote now, Ryan. Enjoy it. That's your punishment.
No, it's not.
Sure is.
No, it's not.
You were so determined to say it.
Yep.
Enjoy your quote. We'll see you on leftovers. Anyhow, my one that was a little bit more sincere, I enjoyed it, is when Eleanor is trying to they're talking to Chidi and she just kisses him and he does the who what would you huh? She's like, well, I'll take those one at a time. It was a kiss. I did it because I wanted to, and as to who it was me, weirdo. It's a very sweet line. Joel, go ahead. Notice I skipped
What?
Ryan.
Yeah.
No,
Well, not skipped. He had his turn.
That's true.
Shut up. Nope.
What
Bulldozed
are you
his
waiting
turn.
for? Do it. It's not that easy. He lived a whole life and then 802 afterlives and a second life, then a second afterlife, and then a third first afterlife. His psyche is like a giant bowl of M&M peep chili.
All right, what's your
I
one
love
from the next one?
the bringing back the M&M peep chili.
Oh
though.
yeah, I
That's
love
great.
it. That's a good callback. Joel, what's your one from the next one?
Oh,
Wait, what
that's
about me?
right.
Come on, let me do my other one.
No,
I
no,
told
sorry.
you we'll see you on leftovers.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey guys, just smashing some stuff.
I had that one written down too.
I cry laughed.
It's so sincere. Oh, hey guys.
It's nonchalant too. It's like, of course I'd be doing this. Like, you know, they're just passing time, having a little fun, smashing antiques.
All right, Ryan, what's your one from the second episode? Specifically the second episode.
Fine. Imagine someone sells you a joint and then you get locked away in a dangerous prison for years. The crime isn't cruel, but the punishment is. That's a problem. Tell me about it. I once went to jail for a week just because I stole a hot dog. Well, a hot dog shaped car. I stole the Wienermobile.
Mine has to come from the Timothy Oliphant stuff because it's just all so good. And the one that I went with was he says something that kind of impresses the judge, and Eleanor goes, "Good point, Timothy Oliphant." Tim's
Oh
fine.
damn! I've got the whole thing.
Oh, see,
I've got the thing that he actually says there.
we're
as
being
well.
mean to each other in quotes today, but Tim's fine. Okay.
Okay, great. I love that. Like, Tim's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, great. They just move straight on.
All right, Matt, what was your number one from this one? And I'm sure we all have a lot of leftovers.
Oh Jesus. I mean, my number one you basically took the end of, so I'm not going to use that one.
Sorry, it happened to me too. I feel you.
I know.
Ryan.
Hey, I got my comeuppance, so I'm fine.
At least I waited my turn to accidentally steal Matt's line. So how was everyone's weekend?
I'm
So,
not,
you know, hanging out, waiting for Matt to pitch his quote. Nothing too
When you
exciting.
have as many as I have, it's
I could say my
difficult, all right?
first one.
Then
the
then
first
you
episode.
need
Never.
an editor.
No, bleep your first one when it's finally your turn.
This is a classic trolley problem. One of your boys sets off a stink bomb on the trolley, causing a commotion so the rest of the group can pickpocket people as they run off the train. that's very wrong, but in a roundabout way, you kind of got where you needed to be.
That's a great one. I already said we
Yeah.
can do our backups now. My backup from the second one, I've already said once, which is why I didn't say it here, was that I don't have a dog in this fight, little lady. I'm just looking for clarity.
Okay, before we try to completely redesign the entire afterlife, has anyone just thought of a good reason for the judge shouldn't cancel Earth? Because it would be a bummer. Yeah, we might need more than that. Are you gonna at least write it down? Did you actually write it down, or did you just do a scribble scrabble?
Michael throws it or crumbles it
I
up.
love how he just rips the page off as well. Just,
All right,
it's
so
just
my
looking at-
original one from the first episode is he's cheating.
So I've got this one here.
What do you think? I think it's 3,600 pages. I have a
Damn it,
job,
this was gonna be the one I was
Chidi.
gonna read as well.
I have a family. Until I had to read this, I had a will to live. This work is an insane, entangled web of inscrutability. In the fun grad students will analysis for centuries way? No, in the Unabomber way.
The Unabomber thing just like
That
gets
sold
me.
it.
Like it's so good, is that?
Look, I put forward a proposal. Are you not even going to negotiate? He's got a good point. The fair thing for us to do is just keep on giving up more and more stuff we want, unilaterally, until this demon's finally happy.
Knowing that they're the Democrats just hurts. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
way too accurate.
yeah,
These
Yeah.
are my last words. End of words.
yeah, that was on my list too.
that was on my list.
Nonsense. Compromise
Sean-
is always possible. I was once in a Portofino with Bruno Mars, LeBron James, and Dr. Ruth Westminster. We don't have time for this right now, babe. Fine. Long story short, LeBron performed a successful tracheotomy. The song won multiple Grammys, and everyone was really happy. Well, now I want to hear the story.
One that I had that was a little bit more sincere, but I still liked it. It came out of that Michael and Chidi conversation in the answer. It's like about the soulmates, and he's like, I don't know, man. I knew that you wanted answers to that, specifically the soulmate thing. So I used it to torture you, which again, sorry.
Sean's holding a lit match, and he gets summoned, and he goes, "Oh man, I just got all the puppies to climb in the cannon."
Uh-huh.
That was
Whenever
on my
they-
list as well.
Every time they pull Sean out of the middle of something, it's always funny.
It's
great.
so good.
Like, what was he summarizing to Shakespeare? Like,
the Entourage movie?
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean has agreed to our proposal. Wait, seriously? In principle, yes. Still some kinks to work in.
Out.
Out. Sorry, old habits.
Shut up. Shut up. Hi. Shut up. I'm confident now.
Oh, that was good. I
And
also
then he
like
starts
the,
marching towards him like Eleanor grabs him as well.
My other one was from when he was a young kid, and he's sitting there talking to his friend, and he goes, "Oh God, what did he say?" Hold on, let me look up. Hold on. He goes, "Every problem has an answer. If you read enough books and think hard enough, you can figure out the answer to any question." And his friend goes, "I know you're really smart, but that sounds wrong."
pretty good.
The
All right.
judge talking about Timothy Oliphant. There's like 50 gallons of man in a 10-gallon hat.
Yes.
She's not wrong.
I love
Throwing it
She's
out
not.
there.
She's really not.
All right. Anything else we need to get in there before we wrap this one up?
Well, when you
I
have
mean,
a
if you want to
thousand
read
different
the entire
versions of yourself.
script.
Yeah, Max
Yeah.
is gonna read the whole script at us.
Yeah. Quiet.
Uh,
Well, when you have 1,000 different versions of yourself over multiple times fused and instantly placed into your consciousness, it gives you a real sense of clarity. You saw the time knife, huh? Yep, saw the time knife. It was neat.
yeah, he deals with it much better the second time seeing it.
That's what I love is the cut back to Michael, who's then like, "Whoa, wait, what? That's all he has to say about it." He was freaked out last time.
very.
I
freaked
liked
out
it better the first time.
I did too. I saw
I
the
saw
time
the
knife!
time knife. Yeah, you saw the time knife. Let's move on.
We've all seen it. I got to be honest. If I had that situation, everyone's talking about how they'd all seen it. I'm like, well, now I want to see it. What'd you jump into,
Yeah.
Chidi? I'm jumping in. Like, I'd
Yeah,
be curious.
We
at
just
that
have to
point.
get
The
up and walk
temptation
around
would
a
be
bit.
there.
Yeah, it would definitely be there. All right. Well, it's kind of sad to say this. We have one recording session left for the Good Place, and then a wrap-up session. But for the actual episodes, one more recording session left, which means there's only 3 episodes, and one of those is a super long episode, so that'll just be one podcast. But we're at the end, and we got to figure out, how do we create the end? So the next episode is called Mondays, Am I Right? One of the most phenomenal episodes of the entire series. I've said that about pretty much every one of them, so I'm not sure you can even trust me on that anymore. Absolutely great episode. And then we have Patty, and those will be in the next 2 episodes that we'll cover next week. And then after that, we'll just finish it up with the finale. Do that in one episode. And then that's it. We'll wrap up, of course. We'll do our rankings as we like to do. And then we have to move on because it's almost Halloween, and we might have to start a little bit right at Halloween. I think calendar-wise, we might actually end up starting in November a little bit. My bad. Sorry, editing and working 60 hours a week has been difficult. But I'm doing the best I can. And yeah, that's it. That's everything, right? Have we said what the next one is yet? I know we kind of hinted at it extremely hard.
We don't have a title.
I think we've done some very, very on the nose hints, but I don't think we've specifically said that we're covering Friday the 13th again.
Oh,
well, there you go.
I mean, I
Or
would.
a film in the Friday the 13th.
We will be watching one of them again. And that's the biggest clue I can give.
I think we've already given that clue before.
Yeah, I have. If you can't figure it out from that, I don't know how to help you. Like that's on you at a certain point.
I mean, we're covering the last person in the unholy trinity.
Is it the?
I mean that's sort of a construct you created.
Oh,
yeah,
it works.
I mean, it does.
I'd put Pinhead in there somewhere.
I also put Leatherface in there. Like,
okay, so we know it's not those two things.
And
we are painting a broad picture right now.
There's a wee little leprechaun who should be in there too. And
I don't know. I feel we can do Phantasm again with Ryan.
It would be a lot of
I
fun.
forgot Ryan wasn't on that. Who was our co-host on that? Wasn't just the 3 of us.
I know it wasn't just 3. Who was it?
Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm sorry, whoever you were.
They love you. They've told me numerous times. I don't know who you are, but they love you.
Was it Drew?
It's made me.
Was he only on What We Do in the Shadows?
Who?
Guys, I'm only seeing
Drew.
3 people in all the show descriptions.
Oh, then maybe it's just the 3 of us, and that explains it. Because I think Drew is only on What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. We figured it all out. Plugs, don't join our show. We will forget you.
Or join our show and stay with our show, and we won't forget you.
Well, we've already done that.
That should have been my plug.
Yeah. That's all I'm plugging. Just be our friends, but also we're sorry.
How much of that actually stayed in? That shitbag like discussion there.
I would say 45 seconds.
This is why people should stay.
Someone
and
else say a plug. I want to wrap this up.
They sell Chris knives somewhere, right? There's got to be some online store where they've made a replica Chris knife somewhere.
100%,
Probably Etsy.
Probably.
But you could find one on Etsy, I'm sure.
Okay.
Find anything on Etsy.
All right. Well, I'm plugging a Chris knife. Somebody buy me a Chris knife.
I'm plugging Chris knives as well.
I have found about 50 in like 3 seconds.
Nice.
Some of them look kind of nice.
Are there actual photos of what the Chris knife is supposed to look like, or
it's a tooth?
Well, I mean, depending on
lots of things are teeth.
Can we just end it there?